Hey there, amazing fans! Before we dive into today's drama, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us. Now, welcome to another relaxing moment with Sugar Stories. Grab a seat, sit back, relax, and let's journey into the story together. The evening air in Lagos was heavy with the smell of roasted meat, fried plantain, and car fumes. The city pulsed with life. Yellow buses honked, vendors shouted, and the rhythm of Afrobeats spilled from passing cars. But for Amara, none of that mattered. Her stomach growled louder than the streets. She was only 15, but hunger had already aged her face, carving shadows beneath her eyes. Beside her, her little brother Emeka, barely 8, clung to her tattered dress. His lips were dry. His eyes, those bright eyes that once lit up with laughter, were dull with exhaustion. They hadn't eaten since the day before. Amara tightened her grip on his hand as they walked past glittering restaurants, their glass windows glowing with warmth, laughter, and the aroma of food too expensive for children like them to even imagine. Amara, Emeka whispered, tugging at her sleeve. I'm hungry. Please, my tummy hurts. Her throat tightened. She wanted to tell him it would be fine, that food would come, but the words tasted like lies. She stopped, staring at the golden lights of Obi's Fine Dining, one of the most luxurious restaurants in Lagos. The name gleamed in bold letters across the entrance. Rumor was it belonged to Cheikh Obi, the billionaire chef whose empire stretched across Africa. They had no business being near it. And yet, hunger had no shame. Amara spotted the waiters clearing tables near the glass walls. Plates piled high with untouched food were being carried toward the back. Leftovers. Enough to feed her and Emeka for days. Her heartbeat quickened. Maybe if I just asked. She turned to her brother. His little hands trembled in hers. Wait here, she whispered. Then she did something she had never dared to do before. She pushed open the glass door and stepped inside. The restaurant was hushed elegance, white linen tablecloths, chandeliers dripping with gold, violins playing softly in the background. Conversations halted as her bare feet slapped against the polished floor. Heads turned. Some diners frowned. Others covered their noses. Amara's face burned with shame, but her hunger was louder. At the far corner, a tall man in a tailored navy suit sat alone. His presence filled the room. His sharp features, graying beard, and piercing eyes were instantly recognizable. Cheikh Obi himself, the billionaire. The staff rushed toward her, ready to throw her out. But before they could, Amara ran forward. She stopped right at his table, her chest heaving. For a moment, the entire restaurant was silent. Amara's voice broke as she whispered, Please, can I eat your leftovers? Gasps rippled through the room. The waiters froze. Diners exchanged shocked looks. Cheikh Obi set down his fork slowly. His eyes studied the girl, her trembling body, her cracked lips, her little brother peeking nervously from the doorway. He remembered. Decades ago, he was that child, begging outside buka stalls, waiting for someone to leave scraps. He had sworn no one would ever see him weak again. And yet, here was this girl, a reflection of his own buried past. The violinist's bow slipped. The air was so tense, you could hear the ticking of Cheikh's wristwatch. Then he leaned forward. His deep voice echoed across the restaurant. No. A collective gasp swept the room. Amara's heart sank. Her eyes filled with tears. Emeka whimpered from the door. The staff smirked, ready to drag her away. Diners shook their heads. The billionaire, the man who had everything, had refused a starving girl. But Cheikh's eyes didn't move from Amara's. His jaw tightened, as though there was more he wanted to say. The world held its breath. Gasps rippled through the restaurant like a wave. The billionaire had said it. No. Amara's chest tightened. Her hands shook. She thought she had prepared herself for rejection, but the words sliced deeper than she expected. It wasn't just food she had asked for, it was dignity. It was hope. And he had denied her. Her throat burned as tears filled her eyes. Slowly, she stepped back, whispering, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. But before she could finish, Chaik Obi's chair scraped against the marble floor. The billionaire stood, towering above her. His deep voice cut through the whispers and murmurs. "You will not eat my leftovers." A cruel smile tugged at one diner's lips. The waiters nodded in agreement, already reaching to escort her out. Emika clung to the doorway, ready to run. But then, Chaik's voice thundered again. Firmer this time, carrying the weight of command. "Because you'll eat a fresh meal, served at my table." Silence. The waiters froze mid-step. Diners blinked in disbelief. Amara's head shot up, stunned. She thought she had misheard. But Chaik was already motioning to the staff. "Bring the chef. Clear this table. And serve these children whatever they want. Not scraps, not leftovers. The finest dishes. Now." The restaurant erupted in whispers. Is he serious? A billionaire inviting street kids to his table? This has never happened before. But Chaik ignored them all. He walked to the doorway, where Emika hid, frightened. With surprising gentleness, he knelt, offering his hand. "You must be hungry," he said softly. "Come. Tonight, you dine with me." Emika looked at his sister, wide-eyed. Amara, still trembling, gave a tiny nod. The boy slipped his small hand into Chaik's, and together they returned to the table. Within minutes, steaming plates of jollof rice, suya, egusi soup, and roasted fish covered the table. The smell alone made Amara dizzy. She and Emika stared in disbelief. Food like this was a dream. "Eat," Chaik urged. And they did. They ate like children who hadn't tasted kindness in years, tears mixing with laughter as spoon after spoon filled their mouths. The billionaire watched silently, his eyes glistening. Every bite they took tugged at something deep inside him, a memory he had long buried. At last, when their bellies were full, Amara looked up nervously. "Why?" she asked. "Why would you do this for us?" Chaik's voice was low, almost a whisper. "Because once, I was you." He told them of his childhood, how he grew up barefoot, begging for scraps, mocked by the rich. How one woman, a stranger, had once bought him a fresh meal, looking him in the eye as if he mattered. "That moment," he said, "changed the course of my life. Tonight, I am only repaying that debt." The staff stood at the corners, listening in awe. Diners recorded secretly on their phones. By morning, the story would spread across Lagos, then the world. But in that moment, all that mattered was the man and the children at the table. As the night wound down, Chaik gave Amara his card. "Come back tomorrow," he said. "You and your brother don't belong on the streets. Not anymore." Amara's lips trembled. For the first time in years, she felt something she thought she had lost forever. Hope. Weeks later, headlines exploded. Billionaire says no to leftovers, but yes to changing 2 lives. Clips of Amara's trembling voice. "Can I eat your leftovers?" And Chaik's booming reply, "No, you will not eat my leftovers," went viral. People cried watching it. Years passed. And then, one night, on a brightly lit stage at a charity gala, a young woman stepped up to the microphone. Her chef's uniform gleamed under the spotlight. It was Amara. Her voice shook as she said, "I once asked a man if I could eat his leftovers. He said no. Instead, he gave me a seat at his table. That answer changed my life, and tonight, it will change the lives of thousands more." The crowd rose in applause, tears streaming down faces. Cameras flashed. Chaik, now older, sat proudly in the front row, Emika by his side. The girl who once begged for scraps had become a symbol of hope. And all it took was a billionaire's answer, the kind that left the world in tears.